think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough.
Hello everybody, and welcome in. How we all doing? Rahab, I see you, my guy, over there on YouTube. How you doing? Good luck, he says. Hope you're doing fantastic, my dude. Welcome in, everybody. It is that time. It is Saturday, and that means it is the Gran Turismo racing community, and that means it's Radical Supercup time, folks. That's right. The final round of our awesome Radical Supercup series is upon us, and we are all the way over in Japan at Fuji International Speedway short course. So should be pretty fun with these radicals. This is a pretty big racing racetrack, so these radicals are really going to get to actually open it up a little bit. They're going to get to send these cars through, and they're going to get to have a little fun here in the finale. So it's going to be a 1 hour endurance race here this evening. It is the racing soft tires, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go verify. Mediums, I apologize. It is the racing medium tires. I should know better by now. So the racing medium tire will be the required tire here today. It's the only tire compound that is allowed to be used. However, there is no mandatory pit stops here in the series, but with 6 times tire wear and 5 times fuel consumption, every time the drivers go around the racetrack here today, it will be 6 laps worth of tires and 5 laps worth of fuel. So it is going to be a concern for the drivers after an hour long of racing here around the track, where they're really going to have to open the cars up, and they're really going to have to use all the RPMs out of these cars. So that's going to eat fuel. So one stop is most certainly going to be in the question. It is going to happen here today. We might even see some 2 stops. Maybe it might be a 2-stop strategy here today. We'll have to wait and find out. But this is it. And with that being said, let's jump over here and let's take a look at our championship standings here real quick. The lobby's just filling up. We're about 6 minutes to qualifying start here, so we'll talk a little bit more about what's going down. So as you can see on the screen in front of you here, this championship is not settled yet. We have Pigham's currently sitting in first place with 84 points, and Doug Burrow chasing very close behind with only 82 points. Implications today are absolutely huge. it is going to come down to Doug having to beat Piggums by 2 positions to take the championship, or Piggums just finishing ahead of Doug Burrow here today. That is good. What is ultimately going to decide this championship here today. Hair Raiser sitting there in 3rd place with 56 points, and Apex Jakey is right there and behind him with 54 points. Bull Snipe is right there with 53 points. So 3rd place is still not secured here, as well as 3 drivers are battling for that final podium spot here in the GTRC Radical Supercup series as well. So super close series here. From there we have Mike Mates with 40, tied with Super with 40 there. We got Petrohead with 37 points. We've got Type Bar with 36, Bar 27 with 24, Pappy with 21, Tap with 20. We've got Ash with 18, Tay with 17, Action Jackson with 14, Lone Ghost with 13, and Sarah with 10 points, Michael with 8, and Trone with 5. So hey, how's it going, Corey? I'm good, my guy. I appreciate you, my dude. Let's go, Kobe. Let's go, Trone. I don't know if Trone's racing today, actually. I really don't know if Trone's racing today. I don't see him in the lobby yet. So, it's been a little bit of a sporadic season here, for the Radical Super Cup. It's not a car for everybody, I suppose. But they are a lot of fun here to drive on the Gran Turismo 7 platforms. So we're going to see these cars ripping around the track here tonight. We're going to have a little bit of fun for the next hour here. And of course, this is going to be a family-friendly broadcast as well, too, for all the parents that might be sitting at home watching and the kids want to see what's going on. It's okay. Well, I promise we won't say any bad words or anything bad. We'll be good influences on those beautiful children of yours at home. So we'll do some podium interviews here as well after the broadcast is done, and if it's cut and dry kind of on the finishing places, we'll probably try to do add in our final top 3 kind of podiums here at the end of the day as well, but we'll see how it goes. Now, there isn't any prizes, so to speak, as far as physical possession goes for this series. This is just a mini series. It's a fun series. It's just so the whole community can get on track, compete a little bit, get used to that league racing aspect, and just have some fun. So that's ideally what we're always looking for here at the Gran Turismo racing community, and well, that means that there's new seasons coming. We have our GT4 Championship finale next weekend at Road Atlanta, and then that's it. The season's done here at the GTRC, but that doesn't mean it's over for the year. We got something brewing right now on the burner over there at the administration kitchen. The cooks are brewing something up here for the GTRC community, and with that, we're adding an extra series into the program moving forward as well. So for those that are in the GT45 Gaming Discord, keep those eyes open, because we got something special coming from the GTRC specifically for the GT45 Gaming Discord server here in the near future as well. Alright, so Jakey and jumping in the room here, so and there we go. We got about what I expected here. We got about 10 drivers on the field. It's about what it's been holding up here nice and strong so far this season, and I really can't wait to see what these guys drop here in the future. So with that being said, there may or may not be announcements at the end of next weekend's finale for the GT4 Championships. It depends how far solidified the next set of seasons are, but I could definitely say they're already being worked on, and they already know exactly what's going down. It's just, finalizing all those finer details, of course. All right, we're going to let you guys take a look here soon. Right now, the guys and gals are just on track practicing. We're still a couple minutes away from qualifying. Alright, so who are we on board with here? We're on board with Mike right now. The Royal Bank of Scotland delivery still on that Radical here as well. It's been a couple weeks since we've been here for the Radicals. Nolander covered our Radical Super Series here for us last week at Kyoto Miyabi, so the drivers didn't have to go too far here, obviously, for the finale. They're still just had to travel a little ways across the country to get to Fuji here from Kyoto, so it should be interesting. So the crews should be fairly well rested here, obviously not having the whole jet lag issue going on, and then trying to get into the rhythm of another country for another week to get ready for this race. The crews have been able just to kind of sit back and then just get focused right on the task at hand, and that's for the top ones in the standings trying to win a championship, and for the bottom ones in the standings just trying to improve their overall placement in the standings and see where they end up at the end of the season. So long season. I'm sure the crews are ready to get back home to their families, have a nice little break before, well, we kick off another season. So yeah, stay tuned. Should be interesting. All right, So it's been a quiet, little day here. Hope everybody's weekend has started off well, fantastic as always. Hope we're vibing. That's the most important thing. And everybody's just kind of getting ready for qualifying here. So we're really close to qualifying is what we're seeing here right now. So for the most part, there we go. As I talk about it right now, our host is actually changing the settings for the lobby as we speak. So we'll be waiting for the word, and then we'll go qualifying. So how is everybody? We have Azar Ali coming in with the follow on the page here 10 minutes ago as well. Welcome to the Winner Circle community, my man. Appreciate that extra level of support. Welcome to the fam jam. All right. So, lots of stuff happening. Lots of stuff always happening, isn't it, chat? Alright, we are definitely winding down on all our seasons here right now at GT45 Gaming as well, so there's going to be lots of fresh, new, exciting content coming from the page as well. Of course, still obviously continuing our work with these great organizations and leagues that we operate with, but there'll be an off seasons, there'll be some breaks in between and all that stuff, so yeah, it'll be a different look here for a few days, but we still got racing next weekend as well. Alright, quali is underway here. I just missed a message, so we are official here now. We are under qualifying conditions, so we should see, I don't know what the lap times around the racetrack is right now, so I'm assuming we're going to see about minutes 40 times, give or take with these radicals. I'm spitballing here, chat, so we're going to see 4 or 5 laps here for qualifying today. It is a 10-minute qualifier. So what these guys do here is instead of using the settings in the game, because they still do weird things to the lobbies at times, is they just have a set amount of laps. So every driver goes out, they have to run that many laps, and then they just park at the end of turn 1 or where the designated area is, depending on the racetrack, of course. And they all wait for everybody to get those laps in, and then of course the host starts the race based off of those results. So that's what we're seeing right here right now. So the drivers are on their out lap. We're on board with Doug Barrow, and our second place driver here right now in the championship standings, only behind Piggums by 2 points. So 1 position is that difference right now between Doug Barrow and Piggums on the racetrack for this championship here this season. So Doug Barrow has been very neat and tidy over the last 3 seasons here, winning the last 3 mini championships here at the GTRC. So Piggums looking to finally knock him off and take that crown away. Alright, so we are officially on a hot lap here, so I think I'm pretty correct on that. We're going to see high 30s and low 40s for lap times here based off that out lap time. So let's see what Doug Barrow has here. Let's jump on board and see if our cameras are working today. They most certainly are. That's fantastic. Alright, take a little... Oh, and a penalty there from Doug. Unfortunately, that's too bad, but that's going to squash this first official lap. But we're going to still stay on board with him here as he comes around Fuji. You can see what these drivers are dealing with. It's a very tough circuit here, so get to eat up as much of that curb as you can. And this corner is tricky. A lot of drivers swoop out wide here, and then they come back around the second apex. And in reality, you're actually costing yourself maybe a tenth and a half there. If you just keep it tight around both those apexes, you're actually gaining time around that corner. So I always love to see how the drivers manage that corner. And then this is where the short part of the circuit comes in. Instead of going around that little kink that we just saw Doug come around right there, you would go into a chicane instead. So it's a hard braking zone, hard on the brakes, but with the short version, they cut that chicane out, and then the drivers just lead into this final technical sector, leading onto this absolutely massive start-finish line here at Fuji. So this will be an invalid lap for Doug Barrow. No, it won't be, because he'll actually serve this penalty just before the start-finish line. So it won't be a great lap from Doug Barrow, so he'll have to try and recover here next time around. But he's going to pull out the racing line, he's going to serve his penalty and make sure he doesn't interfere with anybody else coming through on a hot lap. And unfortunately for him, that's really going to cost him coming across the line here. Right now it's pole position. Obviously that's going to change as soon as Piggums comes through. Piggums going to take pole with a 43.8. Let's see where Type R sits here now as he comes around. Looks like he's going to go down into 4th place. So it's Petrol now moving up into 2nd. Doug in 3rd. Tap in 4th. Jakey is coming around. Let's see what Jakey's got here. He's going to sit up in 5th place. That's going to put Type R in 6th. Hair Razor's coming around. Let's see what the Ghostbusters car has. That's going to be a P6 for him. Ash Motorsport here coming around the track right now for his first lap. Let's see what that places him here. 9th place driver out on the track here in qualifying. Let's see where he places himself on the grid here today after his first attempt in qualifying. Looks like a decent lap here. It's going to be a 45, so it's good enough for 7th place. So now we're going to jump on board with Mike here and see what Mike puts in for his first lap. And then we're going to jump on our pole sitter, Piggums, there. And you know this is going to be a battle between him and Doug Burrow here today. As soon as Doug gets a nice clean lap, Mike's going to stay in 10th place currently right now. So right now it is Piggums, our pole sitter. You can see he's just in behind Doug Burrow there. He's actually close enough there, maybe just to catch a little bit of slipstream as well. So, ooh, and Doug makes that big mistake. And boy, oh boy, Doug is running out of time. He's got to tidy up qualifying here. He's not gonna enjoy his result here. Just a quick like and share, bro. Going to Family's Barbecue. Have a great stream. If I can catch you all later. Hey, enjoy your barbecue, my man. Family is definitely more important. So have a good time, my dude. Later. We appreciate that like and share on the stream as well, my brother. Get that grubs, get that grubs. All right, Bo Snipe in 2nd place here now. So Bo Snipe's jumped up into P2 here as well. So the drivers are starting to get spicy. Bo Snipe fighting for an overall 3rd place finish here as well in this season. So there's 5 drivers here today that have implications on where they finish in this race. Will determine where they finish in the championship here. So Piggums improves that lap with a 43.328. Where is Doug? Doug is in behind. Obviously, there's not an improvement there for Doug because of the penalty there. Let's see what Petrolhead does here. He does improve, moves himself up into 3rd. We got Bo coming around here. He's coming down the start-finish line straight away right now. So let's see what Bo Snipe has here as he comes across the line. See if he can get that pole position from Piggums here. He's going to go in the pit lane. So Piggums is the man in pole position. This is our championship points leader coming into our finale here today as well. And it's a very slim margin, though. It's only by 2 points. Alright, so 143.328, and then we have Bo Snipe with a 44.131. So I mean, this is a difference of 0.8 of a second right now. And I guess if I just would have looked at the live timing, I could have done that without doing all the math in my head. But yeah, that's the way it works. So Piggums has a sizable advantage right now here, sitting in pole position as he comes around, and he is just sending this car around this racetrack today. I think he can taste that championship, and I think he is definitely hungry. So we're going to be in for a good race today. There's no question of a doubt, with the top 5 drivers all battling for podium positions here in the finale. It is all or nothing for these drivers. It is going to be it's going to be a fight. I don't think for a second that it's not going to be not a fight. We got Piggums coming here. It looks like he's going to jump into pit lane here as well. Well, where's Doug? Doug's slipping down the field. We're down to 6th place. Hopefully this is a nice clean lap. There we go. So Doug Burrow now in 3rd place. Finally gets a clean lap in a 44.28 there for him. This is going to place him currently in 3rd place. Tap's going to jump up into 2nd place there with another Ghostbusters car, but he's got that Marshmallow Man on that Radical. He's there with a 44 flat, basically. So nice lap there by Tap. Bo there is a 44.1. We've got Doug with a 44.2. We've got Air Razor with a 44.3. Petrol with a 44.4. Jakey's there, 45.3. He hasn't hooked up his best lap yet. We know he's quicker than that. We've got Ash there with a 45.3. So the top 6 drivers all separated by tenths of a second, fractions. One little better corner, and that's enough for them to grab the next position. So Tap has dipped into that pole lap so far, held by Piggums here as well. So P5 looking pretty good here right now. I think this is going to be the final qualifying lap here as well, if my math is correct. So once Piggums comes across start-finish line here, we'll probably just see him pull off at the end of the long start-finish line straight away at the end of turn 1, and that'll be that for qualifying for this driver, and then all the way through the field here. So Piggums is on the move here, though. Tap, he is he's not that far. Piggums is the only driver in the 43s here so far as well. So this gentleman looks very determined. All right, so Rock and roll. Radicals, it's been a great series. It's been some great racing all series long here too. We've had lots of different drivers on the racetrack throughout the series here. Depending, of course, where the track is, it draws out some other, some more drivers sometimes. So it's been an interesting series. But it has been a pretty tight battle up in the top 5 here all season long as well for these drivers. So it's been a healthy battle between the top 5 drivers all season long, and 43.8 here for Petrol. So Petrol finally dipping himself into the 43s here. That's going to be good enough for a second place grab there right now. We've got Tap in 3rd. That puts Bo down into 4th. That puts Doug into 5th place here. Hairraiser's up there in 6th. We've got Mike in 7th. We've got Ash here sitting in 8th place. He's coming across the line, and Bo's actually coming in just in behind him there as well. So Ash is still sitting in 8th. Bo's now up into 3rd place. So 43.9 from Bo Snipe here. So he edges out Tap a little bit there as well. We got Ash there, we got Jakey, and he just hasn't put in that dicey, good, spicy lap yet. So we'll see what he's got this time around. I do believe the drivers are running out of time here. It looks like it's going to be 5 hot laps by the drivers here. So I was a little bit off on my calculation there. But it is Piggums currently in the race lead. So, sitting in pole position here in qualifying. Petrolhead here in 2nd place. Again, Bo Snipe currently running in 3rd. Tap is currently running in 4th. Doug Burrow's currently running in 5th here in qualifying, with Hairraiser in 6th. Mike in 7th. Ash Motorsport in 8th. Jake in 9th place from Apex Sim Racing. And Type R here in 10th place. So we're going to sit with our pole sitter here. He's just coming around the last couple corners here. Around Fuji International Speedway short course, of course. And let's see if he can improve on that lap here. He's definitely got some time here. He's going to be close, I think. 43.8 there coming from Piggum, so not going to improve his pole time there. Doug Burrow has found some a lap here with a 43.626 as well, so nipping 0.3 of a second off pole position. Petrol's purple right now as he comes through this sector. Let's jump on board with Petrol here as he's rocking and rolling in this beautiful Radical here in qualifying. So Doug and Petrol still on a flying lap here. They can still potentially take Piggums off that pole position. And oh boy, that is not going to be ideal right there for Type R. That might pick him up a half-second track limit penalty right there. We'll see how the stewards are feeling here today at race control at Fuji, but it looks like he got away with that. Looks like he's very, very fortunate, and he still is on a purple lap here. So that was almost a very costly mistake there, but the stewards determining that he gained an advantage there did not hand him the track limit penalty. So the stewards looking like they're going to be playing a little fair here tonight, so we'd like to see that. Oof, and he's looking good. Let's see if he can keep it together here. Doug is just up ahead of him here. Let's jump on board with Doug because he's going to come across the line first, and we'll see if he can improve on that. We got a little bit of a marker here based off of when Piggums just came through, and it looks like Doug's off pace here, so I don't think he's going to grab pole position here. Let's jump on Petrol here. Petrol is on pace to potentially take this pole position here, so Doug will stay in second when he crosses the line here, and Petrol does improve. It's a 43.7, but it's still only good enough for 3rd place here, so it was an improvement, but not enough to take pole or 2nd place. So it's going to be Piggums, it's going to be Doug, it's going to be Petrol, and Bo Snipe is right there. It's going to be Tap is coming off right now. Hairraiser's just coming across to see if he improves his final lap. No, he does not. He's going to stay in 6th place. Jakey's coming around here. It's going to be P5 for Jake with a 43.944, so just improving that final lap there. So Jakey going to jump up into the order a little bit here. So it's Piggums, Doug Burrow, Petrolhead, Bo Snipe, Jakey, Tap, Hairraiser, Ash coming across to see if Ash improves. Does not look like it. It's going to stay 8th place. It's going to be Mike here in 9th, and it's going to be Type R here in 10th. Mike's actually coming across to see if he improves here. He does not. So that will be our running order for our finale here today. Again, this is going to be a 1-hour endurance race at Fuji Short Speedway with the Radicals here from the Gran Turismo racing community. Let's see. if we can get a good little shot here for a second, shall we? Trying to get a nice little shot here. This is hard to do with one hand shot, I'm not gonna lie. We'll have to see how that turned out after. Alright, so let's go through it. It is going to be Pigums, followed by Dugborough, and then it's going to be third place driver Tap, followed by Bo Snipe. From there, it is going to be Apex Jakey, and then we head into... I have to look at this car. Oh, that's Tap right there, Mr. Marshmallow Man. We've got Ash Motorsport right here in 8th place. We've got Type R here in 9th, and we've got Mike, I believe, sorry, in 9th, and we got Type R in 10th place here, I believe, without looking at names. It looks good. It's just hard to control all that stuff with one hand. It's a good thing I got long girly fingers, because it works out. Ian coming in with that thumbs up on the stream. How you doing, brother, man? How's life treating you, my guy? Been a hot minute. All right, we are on the grid just like that. Let's rock and roll. All right, without further ado, it is time to go racing. It is our finale night here at GTRC. This is our Radical Supercup round 6. Kick them tires, light them fires. Let's go racing, chat. And we're waiting for those green flags to drop, and we are green, 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 and we are racing, and let's go. So, corner 1, going to be a little bit tricky here. We got 10 of these Radicals barreling down. We're going to see them going 2 and 3 wide like we see coming down here. And we're going to stick with this. Dugborough taking a look up the inside here, but Pigum's got a great start there. He had enough momentum there to cut right out in front, and it looks like the whole pack survives turn 1. Fantastic. We are racing. So it is Pigum's in the lead. It is Bo Snipe now up into 3rd place. He's going to tuck in behind Dugborough there. So Bo Snipe grabbing a position very early on there at the race start as well. We got Petrolhead there in 4th place. He's being pressured by Jake from Apex Sim Racing here in 5th place. And then from there it is Tap and Hair Razor in behind Mike, Ash Motorsport, and Type R. So the whole field still very close together here, and we expect to see that in the first couple laps here. So we got a move made by Petrolhead here, defense made by Petrolhead on Jakey. Now that exposes Jakey to Tap in behind, but Tap has to settle back in for the time being. He is going to be looking for any way to try and get around these drivers, and very quickly they're jostling for position. So like I said, the top 5 drivers in the standings, every position matters here today. We're going to see some battling here today. Pigum's our championship points leader, and only by 2 points here coming into the race today. And it is this man right here that he is only ahead by 2 points. So these two are battling for that overall championship win here in the season today. And then we have Hair Razor, Jakey, and Bo Snipe all battling for 3rd place overall. And those positions are only separated by 2 points from 3rd to 5th place in the standings. So every position, every mistake, every little bit of lapse in judgment is 100% going to make a difference here today on where these drivers finish in the standings overall. We've got Henry Beltran coming in with that follow. Welcome into the Winner Circle community. Thank you so much for that extra level of support. Welcome to the Fam Jam. Hope you're enjoying the content. All right, Dugborough taking a look up inside of Pigum's here, and he's going to try and make the move coming into turn 1. This should be a lick and stick kind of deal, but let's see what happens here, as Doug does get the position made into the first corner, and Pigums just chooses not to fight it. He's going to tuck back right in behind Doug and race on. So Dugborough now in the lead of the race, Pigums in 2nd place. Bo Snipe here sitting in 3rd with Petrolhead very close behind here in 4th place. Apex Jakey has secured that position on Tap, and is trying to get away from him here a little bit now. Tap still trying to get that position away from 5th place driver Jakey. He gets a pretty tight run there coming through the sweeping horseshoe here. So Jakey's still just doing a great job at just placing that car in the right place, and Tap really not having anywhere to get around here at the moment. Hair Raiser here in 7th place, and he's just a little bit off that front pack here right now, leading up this back pack. And this Type R up 2 spots here now into 8th place, with Ash in 9th place and Mike in 10th. So a little bit of jostling of positions. The drivers are probably just making minor little mistakes and wiggling those cars a little bit. When the pack is this tight, that's all it takes to lose a position or two here very quickly. But it is Doug Burrow in the lead. Pigham's chasing there in 2nd. Bo Snipe in 3rd. And Petrol there in 4th place. Let's go jump into this 3rd and 4th place battle here right now. As it looked like that Petrohead is reeling in Bo Snipe. And he is. Doug goes wide there in front of Pigham's as well. So he's going to have some dirty tires. Maybe even pick up a track limit penalty there. And Pigham's is just in the right place at the right time. And if he gets a penalty there, that's going to be a free pass back to 1st place for him. So we'll have to see whether or not Doug picked up that penalty there. But he is fastest man on the racetrack right now. No, I take it back. Apex Racing's Jakey is the fastest man on the racetrack right now with a 1:44.008. And of course, we're going to see that time drop here as this race progresses yet. Petrohead now into 3rd place, but Bo Snipe fighting back there. Looks up the inside coming out of turn 1 as we head into turn 2 here, and we are side by side. So heading into turn 3, it is going to be Petrohead with the position here, as he's going to have the inside line into the corner. If Bo Snipe can hang it out there, though, that'll give him the inside into that sweeping long hairpin. Ooh, big time squirrely there from Petrohead, and he's going to pick up a half-second track limit penalty for his effort there. Bo Snipe, he's just going to get a freebie here as long as he can stay close. And now Jakey has got a great exit. He's going to go up the inside of Bo Snipe, and this is battle for 4th position. Apex, Jakey, and Bo Snipe side by side here as we come out of the hairpin. And Bo Snipe's just going to hold that position off there. A little bit of contact between the two drivers as well, but Robbins is racing right now. And like I said, all these drivers are fighting for something here right now when it comes to final placement on the championship season. This is not settled in any position here right now. This race will determine our overall official championship standings in this particular series. So lots is on the line today. Lots. Hair Raiser in 7th place, and he's starting to reel in tap here, so he's starting to pick up the pace a little bit. We got Mike in 8th, we got Type R in 9th, and Ash down into 10th now. So again, these back few drivers just kind of swapping positions around a little bit, making little mistakes, and the other drivers close enough to capitalize. And well, that's what makes racing so fun. So Doug Burrow's still in the lead here in 1st place. We got Pigham's here in 2nd place chasing. Petrohead, half-second penalty. He's going to serve that penalty here, right here. You're going to see how quickly he's going to lose that ground to Bo Snipe in behind here. So Bo Snipe's just going to pull it on over. That's a free position for Bo Snipe up into 3rd place. Back does now go Bo Snipe, but it's going to cost Petrohead more than that as Jakey now also makes it around there. So 2 positions cost with that half-second track limit penalty, and Petrohead goes down from 3 to 5 just like that. As I said, every mistake, every miscalculation, every lapse of judgment is going to cost these drivers tenfold here today. And Petrohead losing podium position and going down in 5th place with one of those moments. Tap it, Hair Raiser, the Ghostbuster cars here. The Marshmallow Man versus the Ghostbuster squad here. We love this, man. This is a childhood dream in the making right here. This is fantastic stuff. I love these 2 liveries. A great job by these 2 guys. But yeah, Team Ghostbusters here, good and evil, battling it out for 6th and 7th place right now. A beautiful storybook ending to the Radical season. The 2 Ghostbuster cars battling it out for position. I dig it. I'm down. So this is pretty fun to watch here right now, and well, I mean, you can't make this stuff up, Chad. I mean, you cannot script this stuff, no matter how hard as you try as a content creator. This stuff, magic happens in the weirdest ways, and yeah, I'm loving how that's working out right now. We got Mike here at 8th place. We've got Type R in 9th. We've got Ash Motorsport in 10th. Ash is a quick driver here. He's just settling in. Lots of racing left. We're only 6.5 minutes into a 60 minute race, 1 hour long. So plenty of racing strategy to be sorted out here in this race today. Well, 3/4 of a second is the gap here right now between Doug and Pigham's. These cars grab slipstream within about a second of each other, give or take. And slipstream really does affect these cars dramatically. It keeps these cars quite tight together in a sense. If the pack is stay relatively close, the whole pack will stay together for the majority of the race just based off the slipstream factors. So and you can see it here right now as we got this little group here. Jakey looking to go up into 3rd place as he gets to move down on Bo Snipe, and Petrohead looking to try and get a position back here. And is he going to take a peek? Yes, he's going to go up the inside of Bo Snipe coming into turn 1 here. Ooh, little contact there on the 3rd place driver Jakey as he goes into braking. And oh boy, we got a big cluster of events happening right there, and the drivers sorting each other out here. Jakey and Petrol head side by side. I think Petrol's trying not to take the position there from Jakey as he's just letting off the throttle just a little tiny bit. And boy, oh boy, this is a great little battle we got happening here between these three drivers. Let's stick with this. Bull Snipe slips up the inside of Petrol head there. He's going to go back into 4th place. Petrol head's going to slip back into 5th place. He's going to tuck right up in behind, and these three are absolutely on top of each other. We got the Ghostbuster cars battling in behind as well. And ooh, Petrol takes a look there, but Jakey just had enough position, and it is side by side. Bull hung out on the outside there. Petrol is going to get that position, and we have some elbows out racing happening here right now, folks. Let's go. All right, Bull Snipe still battling with Petrol head here, and oh, Bull Snipe's going to get the position. He's going to slide up in front there, back up into 4th place. This is a healthy battle, but what this is doing is allowing Hair Razor, Tap, and Mike to catch in on this battle. So this battle is starting to grow this pack much, much larger, which is just great for us. That means we're going to get great battling happening on the racetrack. So let's go racers. But it is Jakey right now in 3rd place and Bull Snipe in 4th. And he is trying to apply the pressure to Jakey here in Petrolhead, doing much of the same thing to Bull Snipe here in 5th place. So this three-way battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th place has been pretty fantastic here this lap as we're coming around the final corner to head up that start-finish line. And this is where we're going to see Slipstream play in. We're going to start seeing positions change around here. So let's see who ends up where after turn 1 after this exciting little turn of events here as we got some great racing happening here. We still got Doug and Piggums in 1st and 2nd place there. They got 5 seconds on the rest of the pack. So that battle is between those two here, but this battle for 3rd place is between, well, pretty much the 3 drivers battling it out for 3rd place. Hair Razor looks like he's just gotten ahead of Tap there as well, but side by side, Bull Snipe looks up the inside of Jakey here. Can he get the job done? Great respect shown by the drivers here. And we are side by side. Jakey still holding the position. Petrolhead just sitting in behind, waiting to see who's going to get what and where he can take advantage and get a run. We're coming into this left-hander here, high-speed left-hander. This is a tricky corner, especially side by side. Three battling hard here. And it is Petrolhead now taking a look up Bull Snipe. Bull Snipe's going to slide up in front of Petrolhead. He's going to cut that line off, and he's just trying to defend that position. He's trying to attack, but now Petrolhead's going to move up the inside. Oh, this is a great battle. Absolutely fantastic racing from our drivers here today. And Jakey doing a great job at holding the position. Bull Snipe, ooh, goes a little bit deep there. That might allow Petrolhead to get a run on him, and that might pick up a penalty there for Bull Snipe as well. That is unfortunate there. Let's jump on Bull Snipe, to see if the stewards are going to have and see what Race Control has to say about that. But Race Control might just let this be racing is racing, and that looks like what Race Control decided to do here. That is racing right now. These guys are racing hard, and that was just a part of it, so no penalty there for Bull Snipe. And Petrolhead is battling hard right there, really putting the pressure on Bull Snipe. He is looking up the inside of every apex, waiting for Bull Snipe to leave an opening so he can get that car in there and make the move, but Bull Snipe doing a fantastic job and making sure that move is not there. He is trying to make sure that Petrolhead is going to get a move done here. He's going to do it on the outside. And that was a perfect defense right there. And boy, we got some great racing happening here between 3rd, 4th, and 5th place right now, chat. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. This is what we expect to see on a finale. Small grid, high action. Let's go. All right, let's get back here. Let's see what's happening. We got Hair Razor 1.7 seconds off. He needs to just continue to push a little bit here. Hope those guys battle a little bit. Now it's going to draw him right into this fight. And there we go. Now we got Petrol looking up Bull Snipe here coming into turn 1 as well. And this is an absolutely great battle. And Petrol is going to get the job done. But can Bull come back with the old cutback move? No, he's just going to settle in. He's going to tuck in behind that bumper. And this is, again, just allowing Hair Razor to grab more time. The Ghostbusters cars are lurking just in the distance. This is about to become a 5-way battle for position. Jakey's starting to open up a little bit here. He's got 0.8 of a second now on Petrolhead and Bull Snipe here in 4th and 5th place as well. So he can breathe for a little bit here for a very short amount of time. The moment these two stop battling and start working together, they are going to be back all over that 3rd place driver. It'll be battle rejuvenated. So Petrolhead right now holding strong in 4th place. Bull Snipe in 5th. We got Hair Razor in 6th chasing. We got Mike right there in 7th. And he's gotten himself in between Tap and Hair Razor here as well. So Tap in 8th place. That leaves Ash Motorsport here in 9th. And Type R in 10th, and boy, oh boy, what some spicy racing that was for 2 laps around Fuji International Speedway Short Circuit here today. That was some great racing right there by the competitors, and I doubt that battle is done. All right, so it is Doug Burrow and Piggums here. We're going to go see what's going on up front here with our leaders. And Doug Burrow doing a pretty good job of just controlling the pace right now. Now, that could mean that Piggums is playing strategy here. He's just chilling in behind Doug Burrow. He's just using Doug Burrow to save fuel and tire. Likes the pace. They're continuing to pull away from the group in behind. So, really no immediate pressure to defend here. And Doug is more than aware that Piggums is there. You can see him just slip across the track, try to break the slip right there. So now we're going to see if Doug is going to opt to stay on the defensive line. That is the case. So you will see Piggins move over. We'll see Doug move back over to try and get the best line he can around the corner. And I mean, we expect to see this from Doug. He is the leader of the race, and he doesn't want to give the position up, so he's opting to defend here. So a little bit of light battling coming from first and second place. But again, Piggins not really applying any forceful pressure here either. He's just chilling. He's just sticking his nose in there, maybe trying to force the leader to make a little bit of a mistake. Maybe he can get a nice easy nose in and get a good move around, but no immediate pressure. He's not really forcing the issue here. It's just some smart racing by these two. And this is what we've seen from these two all season long, and that's why these two are challenging for that overall championship title here in the Radical Supercup this season. So, you know, smart racing and great pace it makes for some pretty great battling, and we're definitely getting it here. Come on, Type R, the rookie is leaving you, bro. Don't count Type R out. He is maybe just playing a little strategy right now. We just never know. All right, so it's Jakey here in third place. He is purple right now. Doug's fastest driver on the racetrack, 43.438, almost faster than qualifying. The fastest lap qualifying was a 43.328, I believe, set by our pole sitter Piggins. So these guys are getting down to qualifying times here now in racing. So Jakey's doing a great job. He's got that gap almost out of slipstream range here on Petrolhead. Sorry, in fourth place. I'm getting the wrong buttons here. A little slide there from Petrolhead, though. A little wiggle that might cost him a little bit of time on Bo Snipe in behind. There's a 1 second gap from Jake to Petrolhead here. So Jake has done enough to break the slipstream. So he's not going to give the free ride to Petrolhead here. Petrolhead's going to have to earn those 2 tenths back to get that easy pull back into that third place driver up ahead. Into our fifth place driver, it's 9 tenths of a second. You can see he's in the slipstream. You can see the timing coming down just a little bit. He's just right on the tail end of that slip. As he gets closer and closer, you'll see that time drop quicker and quicker. I mean, it's 8 tenths, 8.7, 8.6, 8.5, 8.4, 8.3. So just in the tail end of that slipstream right now currently is Bo Snipe. And as much as the same thing right now for Hair Razor, he's only 1.7 seconds off. So each of these drivers really just trying to find a way to make up those little bits of time to get back in that slipstream and get a little bit of help around the racetrack to get around that track faster, and of course hopefully rejuvenate a battle for position. We're just under 15 minutes into the race. We still have a little over 45 minutes remaining, so pit stops are still going to come into play. We're going to have at least a minimum of 1 round of pit stops now. As you can see, it's getting a little gloomy out there. We're seeing a little fog. It's starting to cloud over here on Fuji. The weather is on random, ladies and gentlemen. So Fuji is one of these tracks here on the Gran Turismo 7 platform where rain definitely is in play. So it could very well start to come into play here today. It is looking a little gloomy here right now at Fuji International Speedway. So could we see a curveball in our finale? Could we see a little bit of rain start falling on these drivers? It is great. We can't see the weather radar, so it's unfortunate for us. We can't get a little bit of insight on what's going on currently right now, but we can definitely see outside that it is gloomy and somewhat foggy conditions on the racetrack now. He knows Happy loves him. Face green smile. Happy does love him. Absolutely, my dude. All right, side by side is Piggins and Doug, bro. We see this almost every lap, and again, this is not battling for position. This is just two drivers driving very smart, trying not to allow the pack to catch up to him here. Piggins going to give Doug a little bit of help coming into the corner there, and boy, a little bit of a tap there between Piggins and Doug, and that could have been costly for both drivers right now. But no harm, no foul. They continue on. We got Jakey here in third place, and well, that's when you're a driver in third place chasing the leaders, and you see that little bit of accidental contact up ahead. That kind of gives you a little extra motivation to push down that pedal a little bit. So we'll see if we can reel in a little bit of time there. Gap is down to 2.4 seconds here as well. It was 5 at one point in time. Let's remember this as well, ladies and gentlemen. Petrolhead and Bo Snipe. So this battle settled down a little bit. We got Hair Razor here in 6th with Mike in 7th. So the drivers are starting to kind of settle into their strategies, their race paces, their plan, their intentions. They're on the radio with their crews in behind pit wall, talking to the crew chiefs. You know, the crew chiefs are relaying things like tire information, fuel information, lap time information from the competitors in behind. You know, they're doing their best they can to keep the drivers informed of where they are on the racetrack and what they need to be doing here. They're also in there talking to the drivers, just trying to keep them calm, keep them focused on the task at hand. You know, there's a lot of information for these drivers that are behind the wheels of these cars. that they're taking in on a constant basis. So it really does help having that team aspect sitting there as well. So we see a little bit of rain here today. It's gonna be some tough racing. These drivers are very exposed to the elements in these radicals as well. They don't have roof cover in these cars, so if it does start raining, not only do the drivers got to deal with the track conditions, they got to deal with the rain beating down on their visors and their racing suits here as well. So this could get very tricky here today. We got Piggums again. You know, turn one, same thing between these two. We'll see Piggums just take it easy on the brakes here. He'll probably just tuck right back in behind Doug. And these guys are just going to continue trying to control the pace of the race here. So not really fighting here. This is smart driving between the two leaders right now. And again, just trying to control the pace of the lobby right now. But Jakey is pushing. He's pressing. He's really starting to fall in to a rhythm here. And he is reeling those drivers in. It was 2 seconds. Now it's 1.9. He is just ticking away at those drivers up in front. Petrolhead here, he's in 4th place, and he's coming. He's only 1.4 seconds in behind, 1.7 seconds in behind Jakey now, sorry. As Jakey is just continuing again his charge up to the front of the pack here. Bo Snipe is in 5th place. We got Hair Razor in 6th. We got Mike in 7th. We've got Tap in 8th. We've got Ash here in 9th. And we've got Type R here in 10th. So drivers are having a pretty good spicy race here so far. I mean, what else can we say, chat? These guys are kicking it out there. We got Joe coming in with a thumbs up on the stream as well. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing fantastic. Hello, everybody over on the YouTube channels as well. I've been kind of ignoring you all a little bit because the racing has just been so fantastic today. All right, so great little battle here. And nothing, you know, I don't really think we're gonna see these two drivers, the leaders, Doug and Piggums, probably not really be separated by much all race long. And I really don't think we're gonna start seeing this battle develop till near the end of the race, like full out battle between Doug and Piggums till near the end of the race. So I think we're gonna see a lot of patient, cooperative driving from these two for the majority of the race. But this man right here, Apex Racing's Jakey, is really putting on a charge on these leaders here. It's down to 1.3 seconds now, so he took a half second out of these drivers last time around the racetrack here. So he's really trying to put a wrench in the program here as well for these two drivers here, and he's trying to secure 3rd place overall. He is fighting Bo Snipe and Hair Racer currently for 3rd overall in the season here. And right now, he's looking good. Bo Snipe is 2 positions behind. Harris is 3 positions behind. So if the race were to end exactly where it is right now, it would actually be officially a tie for the race championship points lead at the end of the season, and we'd have to take that to a tiebreaker. Now, how the Gran Turismo racing community will settle that tiebreaker, I'm actually not 100% sure, so I'm not even going to speculate, but it could actually come down to a tie in points at the end of the season here. Fastest lap is going to be very important today as well, and right now it's Jakey holding fastest lap. So Doug wants that fastest lap, and I'm sure Piggums also wants that fastest lap, because that really could be the difference maker today. It really could. Oh no, not good for Doug. He gets it all out of control there. A big slide there from Doug, and boy, he's under fire. Piggums going to go look up the inside. That is going to give the race lead to Piggums here. Now Jake is going to put some pressure on Doug here as well. So that was a moment right there for our leader, and really unfortunate for our race leader there. Just a slide, and he's going to go from 1st to 3rd place here out of this deal. So a little bit outside of that artificial curbing right there, and he just got a little slick on those tires there and a little wiggle, and it cost him. You know, you can see he had to take the corner wide. He had a little bit of a slide in that car, dirty tires. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. And it cost him 2 positions overall there, so that's really unfortunate there for Doug. And while he's in the lead, Piggums and Jake have actually taken a pit stop here, so he ends up taking the race lead back. Anyways, Mike's now up in the 2nd place. We got Tap here in 3rd, so we're seeing pits at the 20-minute mark. That tells me we're seeing a whole lot of 2-stop racing here today. Ash Motorsport here in 4th place. Hair Razor's in pit lane in 5th. We got Petrol in pit lane. We got Bo in pit lane. We got Piggums coming out of pit lane. We got Hair Razor in pit lane. We got Jakey in pit lane. We got Petrolhead in pit lane. Yeah, everybody except for the top 4 drivers in pit lane. So Doug Bro is still in the lead of this race. Mike is now in 2nd. We've got Tap here in 3rd. We've got Ash Motorsport in 4th. That leaves Piggums here in 5th with Jakey in 6th, Petrol in 7th, Bo in 8th, Hair Razor in 9th. So we'll have to see where Doug comes out after he decides to take his pit stop in comparison to Piggums and Jakey. Now, they were basically nose to tail when they come into pit lane right there. Nolander Gaming coming in the house with the big thumbs up. Other all-star broadcaster here from the Gran Turismo racing community, ladies and gentlemen. Nolander Gaming over there on Facebook. Stay tuned for maybe see him next weekend for our Pro-Am division finale here at the Gran Turismo racing community as well. It is Mike here in second. It's Tap in third. It's Ash Motorsport in fourth. It's Piggums in fifth. It's Jakey in sixth. It's Petrol in seventh. Bo in eighth. Hair Razor in ninth. And Type R rounding out the field here in 10th position right now currently. So Doug's still staying out. He's not going to pit here. He's going for a big overcut here. Mike and Tap and Ash Motorsport doing the same thing. They're all looking for that overcut. So typically an overcut undercut situation is a lap difference. After that, it really comes down to the pace, I guess, of you going around the racetrack compared to that driver now out on semi or potentially warmed up racing tires coming now on a full speed lap. So as Piggums, Jakey, Petrol, all the drivers that pit their last lap, now as they come around the start finish line here, those tires are starting to build up that air pressure, their brakes are getting warmed up, they're starting to get those tires in optimal temperatures, and they got brand new tires on those cars. These are fresh stickered tires right now underneath these Radicals, and I mean they have maximum grip once they get these cars in optimal setup. So as these tires continue to heat up, they are going to be moving faster and faster around the racetrack compared to these guys on worn out racing tires. Now granted, they have less fuel in the car, which does make the car lighter, so essentially should make the car faster, but that grip difference really is a deciding factor when you're playing that overcut undercut kind of strategy. Piggums here in fifth place. We got Jakey in sixth. I mean, that's 1.6 seconds is that gap. So where does Doug fit into all of that battling for the podium here right now is really the big question. So we're going to see a pit stop within either this lap or the next lap. I mean, these guys are almost running on fumes here at this point. So I'm assuming we're going to see our top four drivers pit this time around. Doug's coming out of the final corner here on lap 14 right now, and it does look like he's setting up to go into pit lane here. So. And that is the case here. So race leader is going to make that pit stop. So I guess now it's just a matter of seeing where he comes out in comparison to Piggums and Jake. But we got Mike coming in, we got Tap coming in. Are we going to see Ash come in? Ash is also coming in. So the four drivers that are going for the overcut style strategy in the first round of stops here, all now coming into pit lane. So first pit stop sequence will be all said, done, and finished here in about a minute's time. So as his Piggums coming around here, Ash actually does come in. You can see 2%, 3%, 3%, 3%. Jakey off the track there, mowing some grass in that final corner right there. That is going to cost him some time, unfortunately. And where is Jakey out of all that? He's still sitting up there in second place. It cost him about a second though, that mistake he made there. So Doug comes out in behind Jakey. So the overcut not working for Doug there at all. He's actually a little bit further behind Jakey than he was before the whole set of pit stops acting. So the overcut was not the call in this first round of pit stops. Now, with that being said, that may have allowed for Doug to take less fuel on for this stint. So maybe come the second round of pit stops, maybe that's a part of his strategy. He can take less fuel in that final pit stop and maybe make that time up overall at the end of the race. With a two-stop strategy, just because you had a longer first pit stop does not mean that that strategy bit you in the butt. That just means that that's only part one of the two-part strategy coming with the two-stop strategy here today. So it is Piggums in the lead. Jakey's currently sitting in second place and Doug Burrow sitting in third place. So if the race were to finish the next time they come around the start-finish line right now, with the way the standings are, you know what, we're going to throw them up just so you guys can look at it and kind of, you know, just see it for yourself and visualize what we're talking about here. Piggums is in the lead of the championship right here with 84 points, and Doug Burrow's right behind with 82. That is the difference of a position here when it comes down to the points settings here at the Gran Turismo racing community. So in order for Doug Burrow to overtake Piggums, two things has to happen. One, Doug Burrow has to finish minimum one position ahead of Piggums. Now, if Doug Burrow were to win this race and Piggums were to take second place and Doug were to hold fastest lap on the racetrack, that would be a championship for Doug Burrow because the fastest lap is going to factor in and give Doug Burrow a 1-point advantage at the end of the season. However, if Doug finishes ahead of Piggums by one position, Piggums finishes right behind Doug and has fastest lap, Piggums will become the champion. And again, that fastest lap point factor making the difference. Now, if Piggums finishes ahead of Dugborough, he's the champion. Cut, dry, end of story. So if the race were to finish with Piggums 1, Jakey 2, and Dugborough 3, it'll be Piggums champion, Dugborough in second place, and Jakey will leapfrog Hair Raiser and take overall third place in the championship as well. So there is a lot of implications here. I mean, third place to fifth place between Jakey and Hair Raiser and Bo Snipe is a 3 points difference between the three drivers. So, I mean, anything can happen here yet today. Lots of racing left. We're at 27.5 minutes in. We still have 33 minutes remaining. Lots of racing is going to happen here yet today. All right, Piggums 3 seconds up the road. Jakey 2 seconds up from Dugborough. Dugboro's 2.2 seconds up from Petrol. Petrol's got 4 seconds on Bo, who's got Hair Raiser all up in his business. Now, this matters as well as you've seen in the standings. Bo Snipe is behind Jakey and Hair Raiser. He is 3 points behind Hair Raiser right now. He's got 2 points gained on Hair Raiser. Now he's only 1 point behind Hair Raiser in the point standings. Unfortunately, I don't have live timing to show you live on the screen, but we can definitely verbally get this live timing and points breakdown as it's happening here. So, Tap here in 8th place, Ash Motorsport here in 9th, and Type R in 10th. That bottom half of the field basically just fighting for overall position in the standings here. Some of these drivers missed a few races this season, so they haven't been here all season. But our top 5-6 drivers have been here for the majority of the season, and that's why the points are so close at the end of the season here. So, Piggums right now, looking good and in charge. Apex Jakey, he's worked hard. He came through the field to get into second place here right now, but this is far from over for these three drivers, and we know that because him, Piggums, and Dugborough are very, very fast drivers and can very easily pace each other. And this man right here, he's kind of the wild card out of all this, out of the 4 players right now up front. Petrolhead's quick. For him, it's a matter of consistency. If he can keep those quick, consistent laps, the 3 drivers up ahead really need to pay attention to this guy. Bo Snipe, we know he's a quick, efficient driver, and it's much of the same thing here. And Hair Raiser in behind, much of the same thing. Really just comes down to these drivers' consistency on the day of the race. It really does determine on where they do end up in the standings. So Mike here in 7th, we've got Tap in 8th, we've got Ash in 9th, we've got Type R in 10th. I mean, Tap's another very quick driver here as well in the field. And, I mean, he's not nobody to discount here either. We don't know what the driver's strategies are. All we know is that every driver's on a 2-stop strategy here in the race today. And, but we're not really going to know until the second set of pit stops happens and really to see where this championship fight is going to be. So, hey, how you doing, Olander? I'm good, my man. Hope you're doing good. Oh, the racing goes fantastic, my man. As always, you know how it is here at the Gran Turismo racing community, my man. You're a part of the broadcasting team. You get to see these guys give it all out every week yourself. It's been another doozy, that's for sure. We got Jakey here in second place. We got Doug in third. Petrol in fourth. So we're going to see this now in the mid part of the race. It's going to slow down a little bit. That's just the way it goes. Mike here in 7th, we've got Tap in 8th, we've got Ash in 9th, we've got Type R in 10th. So this is the middle stint of the race. And I mean, the middle stint of the race typically is where the drivers are their most patient, they're most calm. You're trying to keep the car in great racing condition. You're trying not to wear out the tires as much. You're trying to save a little bit of fuel so you can save that extra 1 or 2 seconds in pit lane when you do make that second stop. This stint is drivers really managing their race, their car, their strategy, and again, you know, they're in constant communication with their pit crews and behind the scenes. They're talking to them, they're relaying that important information from them, and from there that does help the drivers make more informed decisions on the racetrack as well. So right now that's what we're seeing. This is the middle stint of the race. This is what I like to call the patient. This is the calm before the storm in endurance racing. Everybody's chilling right now. They're just trying to make up any ground they can, trying to get themselves into position to start to set up for that final stint run for the best position they can get in the race. Ultimately, obviously, a race win is what every racer is looking for, but that's not always the way it goes for every racer. So at some point, each driver has to realize, you know, this is probably the best I can get here, so how can I get it? And that's what's going through the drivers' minds. That's what's going through the team's minds right now. They're really just trying to figure out, how can I get my driver to win this race here? And I mean, everybody wants to win the finale. It's finale night. Finale is, you know, everybody wants that prestige. Everybody wants those bragging rights. I took the finale. I took the final race of the season. You know, everybody wants those bragging rights. So, you know, every one of these drivers wants this win really badly today. But we'll have to see how each driver's strategies and what the teams behind the scenes, behind the wall, can do for these drivers one last time this season with these radicals, and see how quickly they can make something happen for their drivers. Jakey, 3.4 seconds. Right now just managing the gap to Piggins. Piggins hasn't been able to open it up too much more. But again, I don't know what these driver strategies are. All we can do is speculate as a broadcaster what these guys are thinking. It's an educated guess, obviously, but all I do is just sit there and think, well, this is me in this position. What's going through my mind right now? Obviously, without actually being in the position, it's hard to really determine that properly as well. But I have an idea at least of what I would be thinking of if it were me sitting behind the wheel of that particular car at that moment. Petrol here, he's only 2 seconds in behind. I don't know what his strategy is. Being this driver right here, this stint for me, if I was just in this driver's position, is really trying to improve my consistent pace around the track. This middle stint is me trying to set up a battle for a podium finish on the race. So Petrolhead may be in a pretty good spot here. At some point, if the top 3 drivers close up to each other, because of the implications of the standings, it's going to be an all-out war for those podium positions. And Petrol's just chilling in behind here. You're going to be able to get a front row seat to watch everything down. And I mean, if anything were to happen in that battle, not saying that it will, but obviously the potential is there. He's there to pick up the pieces. So interesting to see the dynamic of how this race is really going to shape up at the end of it. We got Bull Snipe in 5th, we've got Hair Razor in 6th, we've got Mike in 7th, we've got Tap in 8th, we've got Ash in 9th, and we've got Type R here still in 10th position. So championship points leader in the lead of the race, and right now he's got a cushion. He's got basically a 4-point gap with the 2 points he has over Doug coming into the race. Right now it's a 6-point lead to try and finish the season off with. You can see 26 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the race. We're going to see pit stops in about another 8 to 10 minutes for the final time around the racetrack to really set up that final stint. Petrolhead is closing in on Doug Burrow here. It's half a second gap here now, so Petrol's well within the grasp of slipstream here now, and that's what you need as a driver. Again, it's a free ride around the racetrack. It gains you free speed, and with that gain of free speed, it does actually allow you to save a little extra fuel as well if you manage it correctly. That is. This actually should help you with the tires as well, because you're not pushing the car as hard as you were if you were driving by yourself with no help from the car out in front. Now, with that help does come some risk as well. You have dirty air when you're coming in. It's harder to corner the way you want, and that's why we see the drivers when they're behind each other like this, always bobbing in and out of each other. It's just to try and keep clean air in the race car so the nose goes in towards the pavement when they do hit the brakes, and that is ultimately what allows the aerodynamics to kick in and allow that car to rotate at a higher speed. So it's a risk versus reward in this situation, but ultimately the slipstream definitely helps get you caught up and around the track a little bit quicker. So Jakey and Piggins closing up here. Must have been a mistake made by Piggins. 1.7 seconds, 2 seconds gain there by Jake all of a sudden, and this gap is still consistent between Doug and Jakey. And I mean, Doug, he's aware this driver's right there in behind, so let's jump on board here. And I mean, Doug's a very, very aware racer. He's very aware of his surroundings and where these cars are around him. He's been around a long time. And you can see it here. He's going to break the slipstream a little bit there, and just playing those little mind games with that driver in behind, making him guess. And I mean, Doug's not going to open up this position here, but let's see what Petrol does. He looked like he was going to go bob and weave in, and I mean, Petrol's got the slipstream here, so it should be enough for him to edge out. But he is shoved to the outside due to, again, the defense, the positioning of that race car. And Petrol looking for a cutback, but Doug had a great run through the corner, and there was just no shot Petrol was going to get his nose inside on exit there. Doug just had too good of an exit. Petrol could not respond to that. So a nice little battle happening here between 3rd and 4th place. We got Bo Snipe and Hair Razor here for 5th and 6th place now as well. So Hair Razor's actually got ahead of Bo Snipe here at this point, and just securing his point lead on Bo Snipe. But Hair Razor has a bigger problem with Apex Jakey right now, sitting up there in P2. We have Mike here in 7th, we've got Tap in 8th, we've got Ash in 9th, and Type R here in 10th position. So some good racing was happening here early on. Again, middle stint, this is the drivers really trying to secure that last dash for the checkered flag here in this 1 hour finale tonight. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it all plays out. Very interesting. I love seeing how the strategies play out in racing. I mean, strategy is such a big part of racing, and the work that gets done behind pit wall can really make or break a racer's race sometimes. A loose lug nut, an error, one of your lug nut tools doesn't work, right away, and you got to go grab a secondary one. Those are things that cost time in pit lane, and time in pit lane is time on the racetrack. So the pressure is no bigger than it is today in this Radical Super Cup for a lot of these drivers and the teams involved behind them. Oh, and there we go. We got Petrol has managed to get around Doug here. Let's see if we can catch that. No, we just missed it. So it was just either into the sector leading up to the start-finish line here, or somewhere in the process of that final sector. So Petrolhead now has put himself up into third place, and we did see he's kind of the dark horse, but it looks like Doug Bro's gotten it back coming through turn 1 here. So let's see if we can catch that. Yep, he just goes up the inside, uses the slipstream there, and positions that car to get the move done into the inside of turn 1. So Doug does have that P3 back. So it wasn't very long that Petrolhead did have that podium position as Doug took it back the next available corner. But it is battle on between these two here again, and that's good for these two drivers up here, because that little bit of battling between them two is just allowing them ideally to pull away from these two up here. So decisions, it's always about making decisions on the racetrack, and right now if these two battle, it's going to cost them any shot at first and second place potentially. Razor here in 5th. He's got 8-second gap. He's got some work cut out for him here to get up into that front pack. But again, with another series of pit stops coming here pretty soon, it's going to be interesting to see. Are we going to see double stinted tires on this next stop from some of the drivers? Are we going to see a fresh set of tires on the drivers? It's going to be interesting to see what the pit strategy is here. We've seen most of our drivers take some sticker tires in that first pit stop, so we'll have to see if they decide to double stint the tires or not. Double stinting has a risk versus reward factor to it. I mean, you have tires that are warmed up at an optimal temperature, but as the race progresses and drivers on fresher tires can push a little harder, that might be a bit of a challenge for the driver on the double stint tires to maybe hold off that driver for position. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what each driver decides to do here. Bo's coming in for a very early stop here, not quite at that 20-minute mark, and so is Mike in 7th place there. So undercut coming from some of the drivers in the back here. Razor's going to stay out, so he's got some breathing room here. And what's Ash and Type R going to do? I think Ash and Type R potentially can one-stop this race, and I think that might be actually their strategy here. Maybe not a bad strategy. We'll have to see how it plays out. Right now, this is kind of where the battle on track is. These are our two closest drivers here, our 3rd and 4th place drivers, Doug Barrow and VTX Petrolhead here. So we'll have to see. Alright, let's see what is going to happen. Petrolhead's he's always what I like to call the dark horse in these kinds of races. He's a very quick driver, but again, it's just a consistency thing, right? For some of these drivers still, as they're perfecting their pace, perfecting their crafts, and when he finally nails that down, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with within this series. And I've been watching the improvement coming from that driver over the last couple seasons progressively, and these drivers need to start paying attention to Petrolhead, I'm telling you. So Doug Barrow, again, he's going to go for the overcut strategy here, but this overcut strategy is a big overcut strategy. If I'm looking at what I'm looking at, Petrol's opted to come into pit lane. Piggums has opted to come into pit lane. Jakey's opted to come into pit lane. So is Hairraiser. Oof, and Jakey is right on the back door of Piggums right there as they come out. Piggums takes some fresh rubber. Alright, so we were wondering if we were going to see some double stint tires, and it does not look like that. Not from our front runners. Jakey did the same thing. He took fresh rubber. So it did Petrol. He took fresh rubber as well, but he's got that dreaded... that's a track limit penalty. I thought he picked up the pit lane penalty, but it's just a half second, so not too terrible there for that driver. Both Snipe here in 6th place with Ash Motorsport in 7th, right in behind. We've got Tap here in 8th, Mike in 9th, and Type R here in 10th. So Doug with the big overcut strategy. So now what Doug really needs to do here is he needs to open the gap up more. He's got 23.5 seconds on Jakey right now. I think he's probably going to need 35 to 40 seconds on that Delta in order to be able to pit, change tires, take fuel, and stay out ahead of Piggums and Jakey. That's just a guess, And maybe what we'll do is we'll check out what that pit delta is on our next set of pit stops that happens from our drivers here. We'll take a look to see how long that pit stop takes, and then we'll maybe have a little bit of a better idea on what's going to set up here, as some drivers have made that final pit stop and some have yet to make that second stop. Some look like they're trying to stretch this into a one-stop race as well. So yeah, lots of different factors playing in here today. Hair Razor gain time on Petrol hidden pit lane there. Both Snipe didn't really gain any time there. Ash Motorsport has been moving up the list here in the latter part of this race as well. Tap here in 8th place. Mike is in 9th, and Mr. Type R here is still in 10th place. He's got that beautiful blue chrome car rocking and rolling here today. Not really a blue chrome car, I guess, but kind of chromy. Very shiny. Madeline Crow coming in with that thumbs up. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. I hope you're having a blast. Alright, Doug Barrow here in 1st, Jakey in 2nd, Piggums in 3rd. Now, this is different. If the race were to finish exactly like this now, this would be Doug Barrow would be champion, because he is 2 positions ahead of Piggums, which allows him to finish 2 points ahead of Piggums. Jakey still holding fastest lap on the racetrack, so that fastest lap point does belong to Jakey currently. So all this is doing for Jakey is solidifying that 3rd place overall in the season finish for him right now, as he is a couple places ahead of Hair Razor, who is the driver he's trying to catch in 3rd place. Jakey and Hair Razor separated by 1 point. Doug, does he have the fuel to make another 16 minutes of this race? I would like to think no. However, I'm not sure. He's got just under a quarter tank of fuel at this point. Petrohead here in 4th place, Hair Razor in 5th, Bow Snipe in 6th, Ash in 7th, Tap in 8th, Mike in 9th, Type R in 10th. So, it's definitely breaking down to be a pretty interesting race. We're going to give this thing about another 5 minutes. I want to see the rest of these pit stops roll out. And then we're really going to get down to the implications of the overall finish here on our Radical Supercup series. But, it's crazy. It's been swapping around all day long. The statisticians are working overtime. They're sweating there in behind the race control building here on the racetrack. So these statisticians are working overtime today here to try and keep this updated as quickly as possible for us. There we go, a battle for position. Piggums on Jakey, and I think Piggums is more than well aware of what the situation is here. He's grabbed that 2nd place from Apex Racing's Jakey, and he's now put himself within only 2 points difference of Doug Barrow. So now, if the race were to end like this, it is a tie for the championship points win, and it goes down to a tiebreaker. And this battle's far from over. Jakey is not letting this go. He's trying to get that inside position, and he's got it coming into the corner. So Piggums is going to have to hang it out on the outside here. But if he can hang it out, that's going to give him position coming into the next corners. And we're side by side. Piggums and Jakey for 2nd and 3rd place here. And this is big. Piggums needs this position here as they come around into... well, the kink. Normally it would be a chicane, but on the short circuit it is a kink. So, and then that takes us into this final very difficult sector. Jakey takes a big move up the inside here coming into the corner, and he's going to grab P2 back from Piggum. So Jakey making a very decisive decision right there, and he is going to get P2 back from Piggum. So, oh boy, it is battle on. This is everything Doug needs right now. He needs this. This is going to allow him to continue to open the gap up on 2nd and 3rd place. And it is battle on. It is going to be a slipstream battle, and Piggums ain't messing around. He is going to yank that car out. He is going to put it... he's going to take it back into the slipstream, build a little more momentum, and then he's going to put that car back. Still doesn't have the momentum yet. Oh, wow. This is some good battling here between Jakey and Piggums. 24-second gap there on the leader compared to our 2nd and 3rd place drivers, but the leader may still need to pit before the end of this race, so that does matter here, and that gap really is going to affect that as well. So It will be a splash and dash situation for Doug, but if he decides to take tires, that's going to cost him 4 or 5 seconds extra in pit lane. So really going to have some tough decisions to make here. Petrolhead in 4th, Hair Razor in 5th, Bo in 6th, Ash in 7th, Mike in 8th, Tap right there. He's starting to close in 9th place. Type R here with that pit lane penalty in 10th, and that's unfortunate. 3 seconds, that feels like an eternity here at the racetrack with this electronic penalty serving zone system. Alright, Doug Barrel, 24 seconds in the good. Jakey and Piggums only separated by about a car and a half width from each other here in 2nd and 3rd place currently right now, so a pretty great little battle between these two drivers, that's for sure. And this is huge. I mean, Piggums really right now needs to get ahead of Jakey here, or hope that Doug is going to make a pit stop and they can get out in front of him before he comes out. There we go, side by side again as we coming out of the final corner, and drag race, and Jakey again just using that wider line coming out of the corner, just gets a slightly better run out of that final corner. And again, Piggums is just can't quite seem to get that car around him here. There we go, so we're going to see that move coming up the inside here, and this is going to be a battle like this, I think, here for the remainder of this race. We have a little under 12 minutes remaining, and side-by-side coming into turn 1 here is Piggums and Jakey. Now Jakey, again, is going to put himself on the inside for this left-hand kink, but Piggums got a pretty good run on the exit of turn 2 here, but Jakey's got his nose in there, he's got the position, so side-by-side here as we come around the kink, and this is a tough spot to be for Piggums on the outside there. But he hangs it tough, and he's going to hang it out there, and he's going to keep that thing inside, side by side around the high-speed right-hand hairpin, and now Jakey has position again. This is a very wide racing track as well here at Fuji, so it allows for this type of racing here almost all the way around the racetrack. So this is some great driving here by our 2nd and 3rd place drivers right now. Piggums is absolutely fighting for this position with Apex Racing's Jakey right now. There is no love lost between these two drivers currently here on the racetrack, and Piggums so far has them edged out here. But this is where we've seen Jake make the big move on Piggums back last time they had this same battle. So Piggums is in a little bit more of a position to defend that corner better there. And so far, Jakey's going to tuck in behind, but we know we get back around this final corner here, and Jakey's going to do the same thing Piggums just did. He's going to use that slipstream, he's going to slingshot engage, and it is going to be move on. All right, pit time. Here we go. The leader's pitting. Doug Bro has a 24.8 second gap on the two drivers in behind. Was it enough? Did the overcut work? We're going to sit on board with Doug Burrow here just for a minute. And there we go. Piggums and Jakey are coming across the start-finish line right now, and they're coming across side by side. That should give them the position on Doug Burrow. And Doug Burrow's coming out of pit lane, and we have a 1-2-3 battle. 10 minutes left in the race. It is on like Donkey Kong, chat. Here we go. Piggums, Jakey, Doug Burrow, all implications for podium positions on the season. It is race on. This is what we've been waiting for, the final 10 minutes. It is all or nothing now. Here we go. We are not leaving these three. I guarantee you that. We are in for a treat, folks. We are in for a treat. Get those TVs turned up. Let's have a great finish to our Radical Supercup season here. Three-way battle, and this is all championship implications right here. All three of these drivers involved. Doug Barrow, Jakey side by side. Piggums sitting in behind. Back marker, blue flag car with Type R up in front of these drivers now, and that's going to play a factor. Jakey goes up the inside of Doug Barrow. A little bit of contact there. That pushes him out wide. Piggums going to grab the spot. Piggums now. Oh no, Doug's coming back on the outside. Here we go. Woohoo. Get ready, chat. All right, is Jakey now in the lead? Is Doug Burrow in second? Is Piggums here in third place? Oh boy, we have got a battle on our hands. Jakey breaking away a little bit here. Piggums tucked in behind Doug Burrow. Doug Burrow trying to reel Jakey in. Piggums taking a completely different line through the racetrack here. Really looking for a big exit here. Closes back up on Doug, and side by side as he comes out the exit. Oh, contact between the two. A little bit sideways is Doug. He gathers it back up. Piggums tucks back in behind. Comes back up, tries again. He's going to try and use the slipstream engage. All this is doing is allowing Jakey to run away here, but the championship fight is between second and third place. These two drivers, everything's on the line right here, right now for the rest of this race. Here we go. Is it going to be Doug? Is it going to be Piggums? Who's our champion? Depending how this race finishes does depend on who our champion becomes today. This could go to a tiebreaker in behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely incredible battling we're seeing here on the racetrack. Ooh-wee. Jakey, fastest lap. He's got that bonus point. That bonus point is super important in this fight right here between these two. Both of these drivers would love to snag that fastest lap bonus point because that could solidify their championship run here today. That bonus point is what could make the championship difference. All right, everybody settle down here now. These drivers are going to work extremely hard here now at catching each other back up. So let's get through our field real quick. Let's get a recap. We got Petrol head in 4th. We got Hair Razor in 5th. We got Bo in 6th. Tap and Mike in 7th and 8th. Very close together. Nice little battle probably brewing there. We've got Ash in 9th, Type R in 10th. And he's being waved the blue flag. And that's because Jakey, our race leader, is coming up on him, and he is bringing a battle in behind him with 2nd and 3rd place, Doug Barrow and Piggums, and that is the battle for the overall championship on the season as well. So, whew, it's getting hot in the comms booth. It's getting hot in the comms booth. Piggums has gotten around Doug Barrow, so Piggums has gotten the job done. Doug Barrow's going to look up the inside here. Can't get the job done. Forced to take out wide there. And let's see what happens coming out of the kink. Ooh, Piggums gets a great run, and much like what Jake did to him a little bit earlier there, he gets that inside position coming into the next apex and gets the job done. Squeaky clean driving right there by those two. And here we go. Piggums now getting around Type R here. And a little bit of separation now between Piggums and Doug Barrow and Jakey here. So we have a little under 7 minutes remaining. This isn't over, chat. This is not over. Jakey, 9/10 of a second. Piggums is just on the tail edge of that slipstream. Doug tucked right in behind. This is gonna be close. Oh, he's tucked in behind the blue flag car right now. He really needs to utilize this blue flag car at the right time. Try to get a good slingshot around Type R here, and use that momentum to gain a little bit of ground back on 2nd, 3rd place. Type R does the right thing there. He gets out of the way. He doesn't want to hold Doug up any more than he needs to there, and it is battle back on for 2nd and 3rd place here. Is Jakey in the lead? It's Piggums chasing in 2nd. It's Doug in 3rd. Oh boy, this is a fight. We've got Hair Razor in 5th. We got Bo in 6th. He's closing in on Hair Razor. This is close as well here for 7th and 8th place between Tap and Mike. We got a little battle starting to happen all over the racetrack here now, nearing the end of our race. And this is what we call chaos time. Time for these drivers to fight. And it was a quick little battle between these three here as they all came out of pit lane together there, and very quickly the drivers have gotten those tires up to temperature, and they're all working as hard as they can to run away from each other here right now. And Piggums is reeling in Jakey a little bit here. 2.2 seconds from Doug to Piggums here. He got held up behind Type R a little bit there, and that cost him just a little bit of time, so he has got his work cut out for him to get back into that fight. Alright, so there's Jakey 7/10 now. You can see Piggums is in the slipstream. He is in it. You can see the timer just dropping there a little bit. And it's not pulling him in as quickly as he would like to see, I'm sure. But it is definitely bringing him in closer to Apex Racing's Jakey here in the race. We've got Doug here. He's in 3rd place, and he is working hard here catching up. But does he have it in him to get the job done and get back in that fight with Piggums? Alright, Jakey is just doing his thing right now. There's a lot of... Oh, and Piggums taking a look up the inside. Piggums gets a run right there coming into the sweeping left-hander, and here we go again. Piggums, Jakey battling it out for the lead with, 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in this, 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in this race. We're side-by-side action here for the race lead. Piggums looking for the overall race win. He is up the inside of Jakey here. Jakey gives him the room and respect there. And here we go as we come into this final sector. Jakey tucked right in behind Piggums. Now this could be good for Doug. This might allow him to reel a little bit of time in if these drivers start battling again. The gap was 2.6, now it's 2.2, just with that little tiny battle. So that was 0.5 of a second gain just from that little position change right here from the race leaders. So Doug is, oh, he went really wide there. You can tell he's pushing. He is absolutely giving everything that Radical has left in it at this point to try and catch these guys up front. It is going to be Piggums here in the lead. Jakey in second place. Now Jakey could go slingshot engaged here and get around Piggums, and that may be what we see here. And there it is. Jakey goes up the inside coming into turn 1. So as we start lap 33, we are side by side for the race lead. And Jakey has the position slingshot engaged. He gets around Piggums here. He is going to go defensive. He's not going to let Piggums go up the inside here. And side by side we go into corner 1. Yeehaw, here we go. Jakey with the position. Piggums on the outside. We're switching roles this time. And Piggums is just going to settle back in behind. So are we going to see a similar move that we've seen last time around the racetrack here? Are we going to see Piggums set up this great run through this kink and set up that hairpin move? And it does kind of look like that's what he's trying to do here, but Jakey locked it in this time around. And Piggums does close up, though. Piggums is right there. He is right back. Ooh, a little bit of slide. He gets a little dirt on the tires there. That's going to be tough in this braking zone here, as he's going to be relying on those left tires for the grip here as well. Gets it done. That is some quality driving coming from Apex Sim Racing's Jakey right there. And then Piggums in second place. So, this is going to be one lap to go next time around, I think, folks. We got Doug Barrow here in third place. We've got Petrol in fourth. We've got Hair Racer in fifth. Bo Snipe in sixth. Mike in seventh. Tap in eighth. Ash in ninth. And Type R here in 10th position. Jake is still the fastest driver on the racetrack here right now, too, with a 43.094. So that bonus point right now in the back pocket for this driver here currently as well. But it is Piggums putting the pressure on it. He isn't going to go anywhere, but Doug is right there too. Doug's just in behind, but he is losing a little bit of pace off these two here as the race is starting to draw to an end. And I think that's because Doug has opted to double stint the tires to save that time in pit lane. So it is Jakey. He got a good run coming out of the final corner there. He is going to hold Piggums off, hopefully, but Piggums might have enough room here to get the charge still coming up into turn 1. We're at a point where the braking zone's coming in. Piggums is going to move up the inside here. So on lap 34, we're going to see the lead changed once again between Piggums and Jakey, or we would think. Anyways, here we go. Side by side is Jakey and Piggums here. And here we go again, chat. Battle time here for the race lead, and this is going to be the final lap around the racetrack. So this is it. It's all or nothing here right now. Piggums is just going to hold out here so far. Jakey's going to slot back into second place, but we are not leaving this fight on the racetrack as the championship is about to be settled in about a minute and a half time, folks. Ooh, are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. All right, Piggums here, 0.3 of a second ahead of Jakey. It is all about Jakey setting up to move at the right time here now. It's all about Piggums trying to keep enough of a gap on Jakey, not to let Jakey get a run coming into that final straightaway before they cross the start-finish line. Here we go. Gonna come around this right-hand kink, and we're heading into the final sector. And it's all or nothing here now for these two drivers. Jakey taking a big run through the kink there. He's looking to get that position on Piggums, but he's just not quite there yet. Oh boy, here we go, chat. Are you ready? We're coming down to the final few corners here. We're going to make this a nice hard right-hander. We're going to come into a left-hander, and then it is the last long run down the start-finish line for the final time in our Radical Supercup series here this season. And a big mistake there by Jakey, and that's going to be it. Unless Piggums makes the same mistake here, it is going to be Piggums for the race win here today. And with 1 second off the clock, that is it. The checkered flag is going to drop when these drivers come around. Jakey gave it an absolutely huge call to Ashford here, but Piggums had just enough to hold it off, and it is going to be a championship win for Piggums here today. Congratulations to Piggums, not only on the race win, but a championship win as well. Jakey's going to take second place and take third place overall in the season. Doug Barrow's going to take third place. He is going to finish second overall in the season, and that crown, the title, officially taken away from Doug Barrow by Piggums. Hair Razor's going to come across. He's going to take a 5th place finish. Congratulations to Petrol with that 4th place finish. Bo Snipe is going to bring it home here in 6th place today. That's going to bring Mike home ahead of Tap here. So Mike got the job done. Going to grab one more position before he comes across the line here. It's going to be a P7 for Mike. It's going to be a P8 for Tap. Going to be a 9th place finish here for Ash Motorsport and Type R coming across there in 10th position. Brilliant. It is better watching than getting lapped. Well done, everyone. Hey, Rob, it was a great race here today. All right, so Ash Motorsport just hooking around here right now, and he's going to be the final driver to take that checkered flag here today. And great racing by the Gran Turismo racing community, super radical drivers here today. That was some fun. That was fun. That was some great battling and some brilliant battling. All raced along by these drivers. Great stuff here today. Absolutely thrilled with how our result ended here today. So GG's to our drivers. But it is a race win here for Piggums. Oh, and he nails pole position too as well. Sorry, I thought I said fastest lap. I thought he stole fastest lap there right at the end. So congratulations to, of course, Piggums there. And that is a secure championship. I can officially say that we are going to be crowning Piggums as our series champion. Now, obviously, this is unofficially. We still have to go through the stewarding process. We have to go through all that jazz. So the drivers will have 24 hours now to file any incident reports if they feel there's an incident report needs to be filed. From there, the stewarding staff takes a look. They'll assess the penalty if there's a penalty to be assessed. So it's not 100% official yet, but it looks official to me. I think that was a pretty nice, tidy, clean race, and I don't think we're going to see any issues with anything that happened up front anyways. So unofficial results here is, again, Piggums with the race win. It's Apex Racing's Jakey here coming in second place, and he's going to take the fastest lap point, and that's going to be enough for him to leapfrog Hair Razor and take third overall on the season. Doug Burrell's going to come in third place and settle in for a second place finish here on the season. Petrohead will finish in fourth. Hair Razor will finish in fifth, and that will put him in fourth overall on the season, and Bo Snipe in fifth overall on the season there, finishing here today in sixth place. Mike is in seventh in the race here, Tap finishing here in eighth place today. Ash Motorsport in ninth, and Type R rounding out our field here, one lap down just at the end of the race there in 10th position. Great job to all the racers. So we're just going to chill here. I'm going to flip you over to the other screen real quick, chat. We're going to do some podium interviews, and then we're going to send this Radical Supercup off for the season. So just bear with and enjoy the little intro. All right. Just a little love right there. From the GTRC. So great stuff. All right, let's go take a look. Let's go see what we see here. All right, we don't actually have anybody here yet in the interviews. So we'll just sit tight here for a minute. We'll talk about the race for a little bit longer. All right, we do have our third place driver that just popped into the interviews here. We'll just give it another hot minute. Now, we may not see Jake and we may not see Piggums again. Typically, they have other races that they need to get to right after the GTRC race here. So we may not actually have a chance to talk to those two drivers today, but we may be able to catch up with them maybe another time throughout the week and have a little talk with them about it. But we'll see what happens. For the time being, let's go have a chat with Doug. I mean, that was some pretty great racing by the whole Radical group here today. I mean, it was just a 10-driver field here today, but there's some spicy fighting on the track. And I mean, Doug Burrow was one of these drivers that was really involved in that spiciness. The race really was important for this driver today, obviously trying to chase Piggums for the championship win, and just fell a little bit short today, but is some great racing on the track. I mean, congratulations, mate. That was a great run this season. I know you have a little bit of a streak going right now here, especially when it comes down to the mini championship series, but it looks like the crown has finally changed hands here today. But congratulations, great racing, and talk us through it, my man. Let us know how things were for you today.
Yeah, it was a good race. My pit strategy worked well. Got me back out in the lead at the end. But the tyres had obviously cooled down for that long sweeping right. I couldn't hold it, lost pace on the exit, couldn't defend, and it just fell away from me. I then just made a few silly mistakes trying to catch up. Tyres were mullered. I didn't do a tyre change on the last pit stop. I'm not sure how the other boys did, but yeah, it was a good race up until right at the end, until the last 5 minutes. I put 2 laps too much fuel in as well, so I didn't even calculate that right. So that could have given me the buffer gap I needed, but yeah, one of those things. It was a great race, and well done to Piggy. I've won the last 3 minis, and I won the major. My first win was a major. Then I won 3 minis on the bounce. I was 1 point behind him at the beginning of this, and he outscored me by 4 points. So yeah, no, well done to Piggy. Well done to Jakey. Great race. Got himself. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he's got himself into 3rd for the season. So well done to him. And yeah, good race.
Absolutely. As long as incidents don't change basically the official results of the race, it is going to be Pigums, yourself, and Jakey, our top 3 here this season for the Radical Supercup. And Jakey had an incredible race here today. He didn't look very strong in qualifying, but boy, oh boy, did he turn the heat on come race time. He absolutely tracked his way through that field and then, well, just created some great battling up front with that front group of 5-6 drivers. And it wasn't just a battle between yourself and Pigums for first overall on the season. It was also a 3-way battle for that 3rd overall season as well, like you stated. So, there was a lot on the line today, and boy, it really showed on the racetrack. That battling, it was absolutely crazy. But I mean, let's talk about it. You're making your 2nd pit stop. You're not, you know that delta's closed. You know that window for that time is going to be, those drivers are right there. You come out of pit lane, and you guys are 3 deep going into corner 1. What goes through your mind at that moment?
What goes through my mind at that moment is please hold on the inside. Don't drift out wide, because that would have been a whole load of mess 3 wide into that corner. I mean, I've been strong through turn 1 the whole race. So, it was just hold the inside and get a good run out to keep that lead. And I managed it, but as I say, 2 corners later, I was done for by just not considering the fact that my tyres will have been cooled slightly. They're worn, and I just pushed a bit too hard going into it, or halfway around it, and that was it. It was yeah. But Jakey's a nightmare for that. He's struggling in quali. He hasn't done it every race, but he's a nightmare for struggling in quali and then battling his way back to the front and giving you hell. He's an amazing driver, same as Piggy. And yeah, no, well done. Congratulations to them both.
Absolutely, and that was great racing. It definitely had the viewers on the edge of their seats. One of our competitors was actually watching the race here today and said it's actually much more enjoyable watching it than being on track. He said so. It sounded like the drivers out on track really put on a great finale here for all the viewers watching at home and then wherever it is they're viewing from. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the GGs really does go to the competing field as a whole. They put a ton of work in. Their crews put a ton of work in week and week out, and they come out, they provide us great racing action on the racetrack, no matter where it is that they finish on the racetrack. So, they have fun and they compete hard, and, well, that provides us with some great racing to watch from home. So, we can't complain here as an organization, as a group, providing racing events for the community. So it was a great way to really send off the Radical Super Cup this season. I felt like it was a great series, and I mean, congratulations on still a very strong 2nd place overall finish for you. So
thank you.
Now, we're going to move forward here. Now, Doug is also an administration member here at the GTRC, the Grand Tourism Racing Community. He's one of the brainchilds behind what happens here on the screen eventually is the end result of what happens behind the scenes here. So is there anything you want to give to the fans away right now, or are we going to tease them a little bit longer before you tell them what's coming in the future here?
I'd like to do a tease till next week, if I'm going to be honest, at the end of the Group 4s. We're going to be running 2 seasons again, 1 main, 1 mini back to back. It's going to be a shorter season, but the mini season is going to be a longer season. So we're going to start with the main, end with the main, and have the mini in between. So the mini season is good because we get a lot of, because the cars we picked for all of our mini seasons have been something different, you know what I mean? And it seems to be quite enjoyable. I know there's a couple of people who are glad to see the back of the Radical because they found it unpredictable, but the majority of the guys are like, it's great for racing, it suits this track, it's really fun, so Yeah, there's that. I think that's a giveaway I will give. We are going to be re-qualifying, so if we get the numbers, fingers crossed, we get the numbers, we can do a split season, split tier. There should be, it should be more even now, rather than as the games change, people have progressed. We went off some old qualies, some new qualies, and it just didn't quite. Although we had an even split, it didn't quite feel the season get more of a level split. So that's going to be interesting, and yeah, it should be fun. I don't know if you want more than that, let me know, and I'll give you more than that. But
Nah. I think we just need to leave the fans and the racing community on the edge of their seat wanting more. I think that's plenty enough. But there you have it. I mean, we do have, and I did say that at the beginning of the broadcast, folks, we do have two series coming back. Obviously, we have our GT4 Finale Championship Series next weekend. And be looking on the lookout for two separate broadcasts for that as well, chat, because it's the finale season, we are going to split the lobbies back up, and we are going to run both races individually, so it doesn't really play any complicated factors into the championship overall standings. So we should see Nolander Gaming back for that Pro-Am division next weekend, and I will be taking on that Pro division to make sure you guys get all that final action as well. So with that being said, we'll release a little more information for everybody at the end of the GT4 Championship season next weekend on Saturday at the same time slot, 8 p.m. UTC or 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in North America is when we rock and roll here at the Gran Turismo racing community. So if you want to know a little bit more about what's coming up in the near future here, you definitely want to tune in next week and get a little more information from the administration staff here. But great season, great
definitely
racing.
I mean, I set it up, I helped set it up, and I'm on the edge of my seat about it still. So yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. So, great racing this season. The Radical Supercup was a blast. We've seen lots of different drivers come in and out too. As we hit other tracks, we've seen some local racers and competitors come out and try their luck against the group too as well. And we love to see that. We love to see the new racers coming in and trying things out. So, if you're sitting on the fence, folks, come on in, man. It's a chill community vibe here. The guys and gals here, they just want to get on track. They want to race. They want to have a little bit of fun. And again, it's a good way to break yourself into organized racing, league racing. So come on in. All skill levels are welcome. If you're struggling and you need help and that's what's holding you back, come on in, ask for the help. You'll get the help, and we'll get you on track racing, and you can have a beautiful looking car live on camera, getting some love here at the GTRC as well. So anything you want to add on the season and overall as an administrator, Doug?
Just a simple thanks to you, thanks to Nolander for what he's been doing. Without you, especially yourself, you put a lot of time in. Without you, it wouldn't be possible. Thanks to everybody involved. Congratulations once again to Piggy for winning his first star on his car. He's been so close so many times. So congratulations to him. No, I can't wait. Just fingers crossed we can get those full lobbies for the finale again. I don't even know what track it is. I'll find out tomorrow. I can't remember anymore. My mind's shot. Yeah,
we're heading to the Michelin Road Atlanta race circuit here for our finale of the GT4. So a spicy little high-speed technical tiny circuit to finish it all off. Going to be interesting.
Yeah, going to be fun, that circuit.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations on a great season, and like I said, I can't wait to see what you guys come up with here for our next upcoming seasons. I can definitely tell you this, chat, it's going to be fun, and I think it's going to be very, very hot. So you get your sign-in pens ready, because registration will be opening in not too far after the season's open. But stay tuned to the socials, stay tuned to everything that happens in the servers. If you are a part of the GT45 or GTRC Discord server, we'll have all that information available as soon as it's ready to be posted for everybody there. So if you want to get to know first, you need to be in the Discord. That's just the way it works. It's the heart and soul of league racing here in Gran Turismo 7 and the GTRC and GT45 Gaming. So if you want to know first, get into the Discord server. Come become part of the community. We love you all. We appreciate you all. Congratulations, Doug. And again, congratulations to the staff for another great season here. And we'll see you all next week for GT4 Finale Racing.
See you guys next week. See you, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you, my guy. All right, chat. That was some great racing. I mean, what can we say? When it comes to finale nights, you want to see hard racing, and with the points being so close and so many positions being lost and gained here today, depending on how the race went for each driver, it really provided a great finale. I mean, G's through the whole field, down to Pigums, to Jake, to Doug, to Petrol, to Hair Razor, down to Ash Motorsport, Type R, Tap, and Mike, and I'm missing one, and Bo Snipe. I mean, great job out there today, guys. That was some great battling, some great racing. We see some great 3-4-way battles for positions. Pit strategy really amplified the race a little bit. The 3-way battle for the lead with 10 minutes to go. I mean, it doesn't get any better. You can't make it up, chat. That's how it rolls here at the Gran Turismo racing community. We love you all. We appreciate you all. Stay winning. And remember, you all matter. We'll see you all very soon.